How's it going, friends? It's RobertIDK here. Today I wanted to talk about something that's maybe a bit more serious than what I'm usually into. You know, usually with my videos I always like to keep it very lighthearted. You don't come to my channel to get sort of a life lesson. You don't come to my channel to learn anything about yourself or about emotions or anything like that, because that's not really what I'm here for. I'm here to entertain you guys, and I just like to leave it at that. I don't really like getting overly personal or overly just overly serious in any way, you know? It's been a little while since my last video. It's been almost a week. Maybe by the time this is up it's been a week, I'm not sure. But I've been a little bit slow these last few days, and I feel like there's a bit of an elephant in the room, at least on my end. I feel like I need to address a few things before we get back into the regular stuff, the regular funny stuff, the regular singing, whatever. So if you guys follow me on social media, if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, then you probably saw within the last couple days I posted a few things just about how I wasn't really feeling myself. I just wasn't my happy self. I wasn't feeling how I normally feel. And as a result, I wanted to make videos. I had videos planned, but I just couldn't get myself to do it. And I just wasn't feeling it. And it was really strange. I couldn't exactly explain it, but I was just gonna take a few days off and just like come back afterwards after I was feeling better. So that's not something that usually happens with me. It's very unusual for me to feel like that. I mean, I would say that I'm a more emotional person than a lot of people in a way. Like, I'm a bit more up and down with my emotions, certainly. And I definitely, over the years, like, dealt with my fair share of insecurities, and I still do to this day. I certainly am nowhere near, like, perfect and perfectly stable and whatever. But usually I don't have big issues where I just feel, you know, just terrible and I can't do anything about it, because that's sort of the thing. I got into one of those moods where it's like, you know, you're sort of upset and you don't even really know why, and you can't think of anything that would make you feel better at that time. Like, you think about all the things that you would like to have happen to you at that moment, and you can't really think of anything that would make you feel better. I'm sure a lot of you guys have felt that way at one point or another. It happens to the best of us. So that's kind of what happened. I mean, there were a few things that really caused it. A couple nights ago I really wanted to film some videos, and then something happened and it made me not able to do it. And that sort of started me off on this train of thought with, like, you know, like if I'm planning my night around filming videos and then for some reason I'm not able to make these videos, then that's a huge issue. And just, it's a snowball, it's sort of a snowball effect, and it just sort of keeps going, and you just feel worse and worse, and it's just terrible. And, you know, no one needs to feel that way. It's really shitty, but but basically I just sort of wanted to talk about this. You know, over the years there have been a lot of different things that have put me into sort of a negative state, a state of sort of sadness. I don't really like to throw around the word depression a lot, because I think that's a term that a lot of people use really lightly, and they really shouldn't, because it's not right. Depression is an extremely serious thing, and I think that a lot of people, they almost romanticize it in a way. And for a lot of people it's their daily life. I've had my fair share of people who were very close to me who suffered from clinical depression, and I know it's no laughing matter. It's nothing to talk about lightly. And you know, I've been in a state where people that I've loved and cared for very much were, you know, desperately struggling with depression, and I was there with them on a daily basis, just sort of working through it with them. And so I have sort of a personal experience with dealing with depression with other people. And that depression is a topic that I take incredibly, incredibly seriously. And I really don't like when people sort of just like toss it out there like it's nothing, like they just like casually talk about depression. I don't know, it's a really touchy subject, and it's really hard to say anything about depression or be critical in any way without, you know, coming off as being super offensive and super insensitive. A lot of people obviously get very easily upset at that, and so do I. I don't like when people throw around the topic of depression as if it's not a big deal, because I think a lot of people don't like to differentiate between sadness and depression, because all of us have felt sad at certain points. There's no one who doesn't feel sad. I mean, obviously there are incredibly rare cases, but everyone feels sad at some point, and that's okay. And claiming that you are depressed to a clinical level just when you're feeling sad, and like you're talking about being depressed when, just because something bad happened to you that day and you cried about it. You can cry at any point. It doesn't mean you're depressed. And I think when people jump to the conclusion that they're depressed, I think it really belittles all of the people who really suffer from it every single day. Because depression really is a profound thing, and until you've really experienced it, you don't know. And I don't claim that I know. I think a lot of people like to assume that they know what other people have been through and what they're currently going through and all that, but they don't necessarily really understand it. I don't pretend to know how everyone else feels. I don't pretend to know how you guys feel. And the same way that other people, I wouldn't want to act like they know exactly how I feel, because everyone's different. I don't know, it's so complicated, and it's hard to talk about this without seeming like I'm putting other people down or being insensitive or anything, but like there are people out there who lie about being depressed for attention, and that is honestly how I feel. And you can't tell someone that they're not depressed when they claim that they're depressed, because that's a terrible, terrible thing to do. I would never do that, but I will say very confidently that there are people out there who claim to be depressed when maybe they're just having a bad day, or maybe they aren't even having a bad day and they just want that to be part of their identity for some reason. And depression should never be a part of your identity, honestly. It shouldn't, in my opinion. If you want support from people who truly care, it's something you can talk about with people, absolutely. You certainly should not hide the fact that you're depressed, but you do need to be smart about it, because if you are just talking about it 24/7 and it's all you talk about, it's going to lose meaning to other people and it's going to lose meaning to yourself, and you're just going to be stuck in this endless loop of just like unhappiness. And like, honestly, even if it's not intentional, you're forcing yourself to be unhappy in a way, and it's a crazy, crazy complicated thing. But I'm getting into it a little bit more than I should, but basically my main point is the fact that don't ever sell yourself short, and don't ever convince yourself that you are worse than you are, that you are a worse person than you are, that you're feeling worse than you are, anything like that, because those sorts of things do have an impact on how you actually are feeling and how other people will perceive you and things like that. So like, for the sake of what I do with like YouTube and all that stuff, it's very important that I stay in touch with you guys at all times. It's an extremely important thing, and that a lot of people don't really consider the fact that in that circumstance, it's hard to, if you're having a terrible, terrible day when you just don't want to talk to anyone, you're still expected to be keeping up with, your social media and your YouTube and all that stuff. And that's sort of the thing with YouTube, as a career for a lot of people, and just as like a lifestyle thing for a lot of people. You don't really think until it happens that you have to always be there, and you're gonna have days when you really don't want to. And that's sort of what happens with me sometimes and it has nothing to do with you guys, it has nothing to do with YouTube itself. It's literally just, I'm in a mood where I just want to be alone, and I don't want to have to worry about keeping up with social media, keeping up with all of these things. It does bother me when I'm not able to post anything, and I'm not able to like talk to you guys or really anything, just because I'm feeling shitty. But it does happen sometimes. It kind of happened the other day when I didn't tweet anything all day, until I just sort of like, not overly explicitly, but just like explaining how I was feeling kind of, and just putting it out there and saying I need to take a couple days to myself. And that made a huge difference, because I wasn't letting anyone know about how I was feeling, and as a result, people still had the same expectations of me. People were still expecting me to be working on videos and filming things and uploading things at that given time. And if I didn't do that, then the first thing they'd probably assume is that I was just being lazy, or that I didn't want to, because I definitely want to. Of course, I always want to be putting up videos. If I could put up a video every single day, I would, but currently it's just not possible, partially because I'm in school still. That takes up a ton of my time, and just a lot of the things I make right now, I don't have the equipment and all that to do it as fast as I would like to. In the future, hopefully that'll change, but anyways, my point is that if I could post a video every single day, I would, but unfortunately it's not possible right now. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So when I'm feeling upset and I just can't bring myself to do work, I sort of freak out inside that like people are expecting me to be doing this work, and they don't realize that I'm just physically not able to, and that makes how I'm feeling way worse. So in a situation like that, the best thing to do is to talk to you guys about it. And that's sort of what I did. And the amount of support that I got from you guys truly was unbelievable. I was fucking bawling when I was reading all of your comments and all of your responses to my Instagram post. Oh god, I'm sorry. Instagram. Yeah, I was going through, I read every single reply to my Instagram post. I think there were like 150 responses to this post about how I was feeling and all that. And every single post, every single comment was unbelievably supportive of me. And I know you guys are very supportive of me. It's nothing new that you guys are supportive of me. You guys are all incredibly nice, and it really does blow me away. And I'm not just saying that. A lot of people just say that, but I fucking mean it. You guys are amazing. And like I was saying, I was crying pretty bad when I was reading through all of those replies. And I read every single one, and I wish I could respond to every single comment, and like maybe if I sat there for like 3 hours I could reply to everyone, but given how I was feeling, if I couldn't make videos, like I wasn't feeling up to responding to every single comment, unfortunately. So I read every single comment that you guys left. I read every single response, and it really does mean the world to me. And again, I'm not just saying that to say it, because I'm not just saying it because that's the thing you're supposed to say. I truly mean it. Like, sometimes I feel like I don't deserve you guys. Sometimes I feel like the niceness of you guys is more than what I deserve. Of course, that I don't think that's true at the end of the day. Like, I do put in a shitload of work, and like I dedicate an insane amount of time and effort to doing YouTube and to talking to you guys and being as supportive of you guys as you are towards me. But still, it's just like, I don't like to think that I have much of an ego, I guess. So when you guys are so unbelievably supportive of me, I feel like I don't deserve it. And that has its pros and cons. It's always good to stay humble, and calling yourself humble is usually, when someone says that they are humble, usually you're not humble if you call yourself humble. But anyways, my point is that you guys have been unbelievable to me, and I'm sorry about the little hiccup. I'm sorry about being a little off. It's gonna happen in the future, I'm sure. I'm certainly not promising that I'm never gonna feel that way again, because it's gonna happen. It happens to everyone. And if it happens to you guys, I wish I could be there for all of you guys individually, but just know that, other people have been there, I've been there, and we're here for you at all times. And even if I can't talk to you one-on-one, if I don't have time to, because I don't have time to talk to people one-on-one very often with YouTube, and with, I respond to comments, but unfortunately I just don't have time to have full-on conversations with a lot of people, and that really sucks. I wish I could, but basically, if I could have a conversation with all of you guys, I would. If I could talk to all of you guys when you're feeling down, I would. Just know that if you're ever feeling shitty or depressed, I can't speak for exactly how you're feeling, but it will get better. You will feel better. I'm feeling better now. It'll happen, whether it takes days, whether it takes weeks. It will happen at the end of the day. Obviously, it's very easy to just say that, and really taking it to heart, something like that. Obviously, when you're in that mindset, it's very difficult. But I guess just remember that. I'm trying to think of if there's anything I'm missing here. I never write notes for my vlogs, which is really stupid. I need to start writing notes. I know Jacksepticeye, he'll press play on the or he'll press record on his camera and then just talk for 14 minutes and do no cuts and talk about everything in one vlog, and that just blows my mind. He's insane at vlogs. He's so good at it. I wish I could do that. Anyways, basically, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I wanted to talk to you guys about feelings, about, something real. Typically, with pretty much all the videos I do them just for fun. I make videos just to make you guys laugh, or just to make you, make music that you enjoy listening to. I don't want you to, hear my song and be like, Robert thinks exactly like this. This is his true emotions. This is exactly how he's feeling. Or when I'm playing a game, I don't want you to get any sort of profound message out of that. I don't want you to be inspired to think differently about life or whatever. That's not what it's about. I make videos to entertain you guys, and I never want to, have a social agenda behind it or anything like that. I don't want you guys to watch my videos for anything other than just entertainment. That's what it's all about. And, all the other bullshit is like, it's not meant for my channel. Maybe there are other channels that talk about life and like, you know, real issues and stuff like that. You can go check those out if you want. You can check out the news if you really want to. There are so many different resources for these real things, but that's not what I'm about. Basically, guys, I'm gonna get back to doing what I do best. I'm gonna be making more music, I'm gonna be making more gaming videos, I'm gonna be making more silly videos, all sorts of things. I've got tons of things planned. As soon as I'm done filming this, I'm probably gonna film some more stuff. So anyways, guys, thank you for bearing with me through this. You guys are seriously the best, and so many people, so many content creators, so many bands, so many people in general talk about how their fans are like the best ever, and I think a lot of them just say it just to say it, and I know that's kind of rude for me to assume, but I want you to know that I do mean it when I say that you guys are fucking amazing, and I don't deserve you guys. You guys are way too nice to me, and your patience with me during this time it means the world to me. So if it happens again, I apologize. It's gonna happen at some point, but anyways, guys, enough of that, enough of the seriousness. We're gonna get back to fun stuff right after this. Hopefully a couple days after this is uploaded, maybe even a day after. I don't know. I don't really know my schedule. But as soon as possible after this, we're gonna get back into something fun, and I'm very excited. So thank you guys so much for listening to me blabber and go on and on. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sure it was a bit of a left turn there, threw you for a loop maybe, but anyways, we're getting back to normal. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one.